Welcome to Soul Knowledge. I'm your host, Rocky K of Tune Into Wellness. We are souls having a human experience, and this podcast is where we remember that. Your soul has lived lifetimes. It has a history, a purpose, and a wisdom that goes deeper than anything your mind can analyze. My work through Reiki, hypnotherapy, past life regression, subconscious healing, and intuitive transformation is to help you not just learn about your soul, but to actually know it. Here I'll be sharing real stories from real sessions, lessons from the unseen, and truth telling about what healing really looks like. The messy, mystical, holy, human, sometimes hilarious, often uncomfortable, absolutely life-changing parts of it all. And I'll warn you now, if you don't like the honest language or the occasional well-placed F-bomb, this is not the podcast for you. Because sometimes the most spiritual thing you can say is, fuck this, I'm done repeating this pattern. So let's take a breath. Tune in. Let go of what you think you know. And let's drop into the wisdom your soul's been trying to give you all along. Welcome home. Welcome to Soul Knowledge. Hello, and welcome back to the Soul Knowledge Podcast. This is Rocky with Tune Into Wellness, and today I have a really special guest, a dear friend, a dear person with me today. It's Jodie, and she owns the villa here in Virginia Beach. It's a beautiful place, and if anybody came to the garden party last year, it is where I hosted it. She is the owner, and she is sensational, and I'm so excited to bring her on. Jodie, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so great. Thank you.
Yay. Good. I'm so excited to have you. Could you just give my audience just a little introduction about who you are and what you do?
Of course. My name is Jodie Michéle. I'm the owner of the villa and co-founder of a women's leadership group called Elevate. And we at the villa, we host weddings and events and parties and birthday parties and retirements. And it's an event venue, basically. And we just party.
I love that. Yes, that's awesome. And for anybody that does not know about the villa, it is gorgeous. And you would not think that you were in Virginia Beach in this place. It's literally a villa, like you're in Italy somewhere very magical and enchanting.
Thank you.
So, and that is the beautiful backdrop that you have on.
Yeah.
So for those that are getting the videos, yes, that's your little outdoor space, and it is so pretty. So
we just loved having you here too, and your group of girls. Just amazing, wonderful community that you're building. Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you. I do have a really great community. I love my people, and I love that the people that do show up for me are just like the best kind of humans, and you are grouped into that category too, just so you know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So I want you to tell me a little bit more about your group Elevate. So I know your venue is gorgeous, and I can sit here and tell everybody how beautiful it is, but they really just need to go in there and see it and book an event there. But I want to hear more about your Elevate.
The reason I think the villa kind of came into existence, so it was actually my husband's marketing firm. And when COVID hit and everybody started scattering it and nobody came to the office, our space was empty for a year. And it was kind of like down on the knees moment. What are we going to do with the space? How are we going to make the mortgage, all of the things? And so I had been doing a deep dive on the human relational value in gatherings and having not just events or parties, but how to really engage in more of an event that's all about connection. That's all about the human relational value of it, like how we care for each other, how we welcome each other, how we make an event feel like, we belong, how we create a moment that's unforgettable, that just really is deeper than just the surface level. And so when it was this moment that we were trying to figure out what to do with the space, I said, I would really like to use it to help service this part of who I am and who I want to share with the world. And so my husband was just so incredibly gracious. And he was like, go for it. And so we're going on 4 years now. And, I think it was just so well received by the community. I never really expected it would be so heavy wedding and, a lot of like these really intimate weddings, but that's kind of the space that we've carved out for ourselves. And it's really spectacular. So we do all kinds of events, but weddings, those magical moments. Yeah.
I love that. And I guess that is another good thing to come out of COVID, because I always try to look for the good that comes out. And I'm going to say your space is one of those like gems that came out, because I can only imagine if your husband just continued to use that as his business, we wouldn't know about this like beautiful place that's here in Virginia Beach. So, yeah, yes.
I think it's just, I think it's a platform on the way of my journey into really what I am supposed to do here and what I'm supposed to share. So it's an honor to be kind of the steward of this magical place, but it also is cultivated by the love and the care and the energy that all of the people that come into here and share the space with us. So, but I really like to share more about how to cultivate and experience, how to really have moments that are really meaningful and personalized that, touch the soul. And there are a lot of different pathways to do that. So I would like to be teaching and sharing that in the future.
Yeah, I love that you said that, you're feeling like that's part of like your big purpose and gathering people. And I know when I came in, to get ready for the garden party, you have so much thought and creativity into how things are orchestrated to make it such a memorable event. And I think that's something really beautiful, because, a person like me, I'm just like, yay, let's go. Like, let's have fun. Everybody, put on your pretty dress and like, let's go. And you pause that. And I love that you did, because you brought in so much more thought, and you gave me that moment to pause and to bring a lot more thought into my process as well. And I think that's a big thing just in general, that we always take that pause and put a little bit more thought and feeling and meaning. And you're definitely somebody that's really goes to those details. And I adore that and I admire that. And I'm so glad that our community has somebody like you doing that, and really understanding how important it is to gather and to connect, and having these like really beautiful details to bring people together.
I think one of my favorite parts and what we really dug in on your event was the flow, where everything's going to land. How can we get people chatting with each other in a very organic way that makes them feel comfortable? And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that I'm a bit of an introvert. Well, I am an introvert, and to get me to a party, I think I have to run this place in order to get me to a party, because I'm just not that. I'd rather be at home with my dogs,
Fair
and
enough.
than be out and doing all the dress up. To me, that's a lot of work. So it's, I guess, more of but maybe the introvert's way of hosting, because it's all about the welcoming and the caring of the guests, and, putting in like those details that really are, that make people feel comfortable in a very natural way, where it's structured, but there's like freedom within that structure to adapt and to make connections, so that when you leave, you feel like you really got to know somebody.
Yeah, and I think that's the introvert's way. They want those deeper, more soulful connections, right, with people. And so you having that introvert in you is what makes what you do so magical and really so beautiful, because you are setting the stage for those really magical connections. So I love that. Love it.
Thank you.
So now you started the villa, and now you've been hosting events, and you actually got best wedding venue in Virginia Beach. Am I right? Or is
So actually recently got recognized in two separate magazines. So there was the Coastal Virginia Weddings magazine, where we were nominated as the best bridal shower venue, I think, in the area. And then we also got an award for in Virginia Living Magazine for a top vendor.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Those are
Yeah.
some really amazing events.
I love those recognitions are so meaningful and they can, help to give you a little bit more visibility, I guess, for lack of a better word. But it's
Absolutely.
really the care. I think I kind of run the venue almost like it's my home, and so the people that come and have events here, they really become like family. We have this wall of fame down the hallway, and it's really about them and about caring for them and about creating an experience that they'll remember forever. So through that, I think you really develop these interesting, incredible relationships that are so unique and valuable and unforgettable.
Yeah. So, was there an event or something that happened, or is it just something that just kind of sporadically happened that drew you to wanting to gather people and finding those connections that way? Was there any like specific event or time?
I think it started just in my childhood. We would have these spaghetti night dinners every Thursday night. And it started on my dad's side of the family. It started with my grandmother. So it's been ongoing for like 70 some years now. And my dad is one of six. So I had all of these cousins and aunts and uncles that were also doing spaghetti night in their family. And we didn't live close to family, but I knew that somewhere else, somewhere across the country, all of my aunts and uncles and all of my dad's side of the family were doing that. And it made me feel connected to, on a bigger scale to my family, but also around the table, those spaghetti nights and having that tradition and that ritual was really important to kind of who I became, because I think around the table, you know, having those conversations, looking at each other in the eye, sharing in food and breaking of bread and those it's kind of to me, there's a spiritual element there when you have nowhere else to be other than sitting with the people around the table. I think you start to uncover deeply who you are and you learn a lot about each other. And so I think that's where it all started for me. And it's just been, I guess that's where I find myself. And that's where I find the richness and beauty of others too around the table.
I love that. Out of curiosity, do you have Sunday spaghetti dinner traditions in your home?
Yeah. So yeah, it continues on.
Okay.
The spaghetti nights.
I
Absolutely.
love that. I love that. Are you Italian by chance?
No, I'm not. I'm a hodgepodge of just probably everything else. But my husband is, my daughters look, they're plucked from that Italian heritage. They look just just like him, but
Yeah, I asked because my husband's Italian, and they always had Sunday dinners at grandma's house until she passed away, and then after she passed, my aunts did it until my grandfather or his grandfather it's his grand they were my grandparents too, but his grandfather passed, and then it's kinda dwindled away, and it's sad, so when I go home, I don't have those Sunday spaghetti dinners, and they really were amazing, and, so many people say, like, your family, like, they're kinda your village, right? And I'm a military family. Well, my husband and our family is a military, so we kinda move around, and we create new families everywhere we go. So I have a lot of family, and they're kinda spread out, but my blood family, coming home to all of that, it's always so special, to have those dinners and, like, had grandma's pasta and it's just that, like, magical having, like, someone make you a dinner with so much love and, the tradition behind it too, I think really just makes things feel more soulful and deepens that connection to the people in the room, right?
yes. Well, you'll have to come over we'll have to do one together. How about that?
I'm in. I'm in.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have a big spaghetti night dinner.
Yes, I love it. Yeah. I did lasagna and I invited my close friends here that I call my family. And I did that one time and I was hoping to make it a tradition, but our kids were a little busy. And so now that I'm going to be an empty nester, I was like, I might have to like bring that back up with all of my friends because we're all empty nesters, coming up here. So here it goes.
I'm on my first year through the emptiness scene.
Yeah. How'd that go for you?
So not well.
Not
Not
well.
well.
No.
It was
You're supposed to give
so
me
hard.
hope, Jodie.
It was so hard. It was so hard
Yeah.
for me personally. I know there are so many, it can be whatever it is, but for me, that noise, there's something comforting about just having them knowing that they're, safe and in
Yeah.
their bed
Yeah.
um
100%.
and it's, but it's a great new journey and they're doing amazing things. And I couldn't be, you know, more amazed by what they're doing in the world. So that's why we have children, so that they can go give their offering to what they're supposed to do. But yeah, that shift is hard. They're both home for the summer now, and it's just been so glorious.
Yes. Yeah. I have both my girls in the house right now until the beginning of August. And so I'm just like, oh, I'm hanging on. I don't know what next year's gonna bring. Like I know she's playing field hockey, so I get to go watch her on weekends. So maybe that'll soften it for a little while. At least the first semester.
Come find me. We will take a walk. We'll go grab coffee. We'll do something. But yeah, just work your way through it. Yeah, you'll be great.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, and so much of what we do as mom, I mean, that's such a big part of who we are in our existence. And I mean, you think about us as moms and even what you do at the villa, we're catering, we're helping, we're lifting people up like our children, but then we're bringing these people together to make these little magical memories and moments with our children, when they're little. Like you think about all the fun things that you probably did with your girls. You have all girls, am I right?
Two
I'm
girls.
thinking
Yeah.
that, yeah, okay, you have two girls just like me. And I mean, I would do so many different fun things to make our little like gatherings and our connections deeper and more magical and fun. And now I guess I do it with adults.
Yeah, I think I do too. Yeah, we shifted that over. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's hysterical.
Yeah, I was like, and now I just do it for adults. I wonder if they would watch some Barbie movies with me.
Oh my gosh, you're so fun.
That was a tradition the girls and I had. We would, a new Barbie movie came out every 6 months. And so we would get jammies and we would have a slumber party in the living room and we would watch the new movie because my husband was military. So he was gone a lot when my girls were little. So that was like something really magical. And if we were walking through Target and we saw the new movie came out, we would like, oh, grab that. I'm like, let's go get some jammies. And like, we would have the best time. And I love those darn Barbie movies.
That's so funny. Yeah, you can just have a Barbie marathon like every Saturday over the summer, until August.
Yeah, let's just watch Barbie movies.
That's really sweet. Yeah, we all have those like really, those moments that, that you want to make memories. And usually they're just so simple,
Ah, they are. They're beautiful. So you had told me about your group, your leadership group that you have put together called Elevate. I would love for you to tell me a little bit more about that. And I would love to know how it started. Like what was the birth like thought? Like what made this happen?
Well, I had always dreamed to utilize the villa as, a service to the community and in a lot of different ways. And so we do that quietly in a lot of different ways. But I also wanted to create something that was really specific about leadership for women in particular. And I ran into an old friend, and she actually runs a tech company here in town called Eastern Data, and she had the same vision for it. And so we said, let's do this, let's make it happen. And we did. And it was just about, we just had our first meeting a couple of months ago. We do it quarterly, and it's just really about nurturing and mentoring leadership for anybody that's interested in that part of themselves that wants to be educated and learn more about that. really, really beautiful group of women that we have, really diverse in age group and all of the things. So it's very, very meaningful to me to help be in a space where we can, nurture the gifts of the women that are younger than us and older than us and all in between, caring for each other in this very supportive, loving group.
Yeah, I love that. And I actually really love I'm seeing so many different groups of women start to gather to support each other, and I feel like and maybe you can correct me, but I feel like as we were younger, it was always like we were like competing with each other. And now I'm finding that women are like really wanting to gather, connect, support, and they're not looking at each other as competition, but as like friends and, equals and helping each other through like lift them up. And I'm a big fan of that. I don't know. Did you notice that too? Like,
I think that, I think it's always been there. I think we're seeing it more visibly now, but I think that having relationships and recognizing that we all have different gifts and we're all kind of, doing our own thing and whatever scope that develops into, we just want to encourage and care for each other. Yeah. But I love seeing women in business and otherwise just supporting each other. Absolutely. It's such a good thing.
I agree. And, bringing up strong leaders, it's just going to continue to expand that really great energy. I'm all about like elevating the vibe, of ourselves and the people around us and just watching that ripple effect just going out to everybody around there. So I am a fan. So I love that you're doing this. If people wanted to join this, what would be the best way for them to connect with this group?
We're on social media, Instagram and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really the kind of place where we live.
And what is that?
Yeah, so it's Elevate Women in Leadership.
Elevate Women in Leadership, and you're both on Instagram and on LinkedIn? Is that what you
Mhm.
said? Okay, perfect. Well, we're gonna make sure we get that information to go into the show notes as well, so people can connect to you that way and see you and join. And do you host them there at the villa? Is that
Yeah,
where
we
you always
do.
meet? Oh, well, then everybody should just go just so they can see.
We have
Yeah.
such a great time. Yeah, it's
I love
amazing. It's
that, yeah.
amazing.
And I
Yeah.
was like, if there's boys listening and they wanna go, you have to put a wig on or something. You have to pretend you're a girl at least. No.
We had a couple of guys show up for our last one and we absolutely embrace and
I
come on in.
love
Yeah.
this. Beautiful. That's amazing. That is so awesome. That's so great. Well, I love that for you. Is there anything else that you're, like, feeling like you want to share, like soul level, purpose, or just anything that's, like, coming to your heart?
You know, I just think on the daily, you know, we're exposed with so much information, right? We're totally kind of overwhelmed with the streaming of ads and news and negative things. And it's really hard to settle into knowing there's so much good. But when I look around in this community, when I see what's going on kind of in, I live in Virginia Beach, but really this, this whole Hampton Roads collective, it's quite an incredible place to live. I think that, we don't all of the care and the love and the kindness don't make headlines, but they are I think the foundation of this town and this area. And I think we've just been so incredibly blessed to have so many amazing men and women in the military to, support our country and to do incredible things, and just so grateful to live here and to know so many different kinds of people.
Yeah, it really is, like, a great kind of melting pot, but it feels like very small town, even though it is really a big city, right? And it has a very small town feel, though, I say. I always tell people I think Virginia Beach is the largest small town I've ever I've ever been around. So
That's so true.
everybody knows everybody, I feel like, in some way, if not like they're like you ever play that game 7 Degrees to Kevin Bacon? Like you have to like connect a different actor to Kevin Bacon and you have to try to connect him within 7 movies or something.
No, I've never played that.
All right, I got to explain this then real quick so people aren't like questioning me. So 7 Degrees to Kevin Bacon. So you would like name an actor and then you would have to connect. Like, so I remember doing Meryl Streep and I was just like, let's do, what was Clint Eastwood is who I did. Is Clint Eastwood to Kevin Bacon. And I was just like, Clint Eastwood played in the movie Bridges of Madison County with Meryl Streep. And Meryl Streep played in, what's that, River Wild or something with Kevin Bacon. And so there was like the 2 degrees, but you could like do as many degrees, like movies. Like if you went Sylvester Stallone, you just connect Sylvester Stallone to a person in a movie and then so on, so until you could get to Kevin Bacon. So
it was like literally just Kevin Bacon. Nobody else. It was 7 Degrees to Kevin Bacon. And you tried to figure out how you get from one actor to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
How did Kevin Bacon feel about that?
I don't know, but that's what we played in the lines, like waiting for Cedar Point up in Ohio, a massive amusement park. But while we waited for hours in line for a roller coaster, we were playing 7 Degrees to Kevin Bacon. And so
we need to find 7 Degrees to Rocky. I love that. This is so funny.
Yes, in Virginia Beach. That is the new game, is 7 Degrees to Rocky. I like that. Either way, so Virginia Beach is a very big town that feels very small.
It does. She's growing so fast. But I think, it does. It keeps this really great energy.
It does. It does. It really does. And there are such strong connections. I know, especially like in the wellness area of Virginia Beach, like there's so many great businesses here and everybody's so supportive of each other. Even though we're doing like the same stuff or real similar stuff, like I'm friends with them. Like I love them and I'm like, here, like go to this person's stuff. And I think that's how we should operate. Like we are helping and supporting because somebody's going to go to somebody else's meditation. It's not taking away from my meditation. Like it's giving people more options and there's more things and they can experience a connection on a deeper level, or in a different way than I can do. Am I right?
I 100% agree because I think we all come at it from our own experiences, from our own viewpoint. I don't think that, there are a lot of copycats of each other. You're going to operate the way that it is authentic to you. And I think that is so important. I think the wellness community here is amazing. So, so wonderful. Yeah. And I find that too about the hospitality industry. Oh my gosh. So many brilliant creative artists and so many makeup artists, so many different vendors, so many catering teams, just really doing beautiful work in the community. So it's really fun to be able to work, with other local businesses and help lift them up and, support each other. It's just a really great community to have a business and just to live here.
Yeah, I actually just did an event with people that are in the wedding industry, which is pretty much the same thing as you. And I got to work with them and talk to them. And it was like a big monthly event that they do. And I was one of the people that came in there to help support them, just like grounding them and helping them get techniques to keep everybody calm and relaxed in a wedding situation, right? Because you think about all the emotions that are there. And so I was just giving them really simple grounding techniques. So, and if you're listening to this and you want simple grounding techniques, go back 2 episodes. There is a short episode of grounding and it's super quick, super easy. And it's actually what I taught all of them that evening, just how to recenter. And so you're staying true to you and authentic to you, even though things are like probably going 80 different directions. You think about how chaotic and crazy events can be, right? And just finding that center, finding that calm.
Yeah, because there is a production element to a wedding. Like you've got a team of people, you've got all of these vendors that are coming in and doing all of these different tasks. And normally that's not how we operate on the daily. Like when we have a party, it's usually just, we're throwing a party at our home or whatever. So it is very different on top of the fact that you are getting married. So I always think it's really interesting when brides come in and you've known them a certain way, but when they come in on their wedding day and the energy that they have, I am going to recommend your grounding techniques to them because it is so important. And that's the kind of space that, I want to create here or want to have here. I always just want them to be able to, it can be such a whirlwind and I just want it to be peaceful and calming. And I want them to remember it. I want it to be euphoric, but at the same time, you have these great memories of it. I don't want it just to pass you by. So we try to slow things down, like, yeah, grounding.
I think that's so important, especially because, I know brides go in with very certain expectations of what's going to happen that day. And sometimes things don't go exactly as planned. I told the wedding planners, I was like, things did not go for my wedding how it was supposed to. My dad stepped on my train and almost ripped it off my dress. Whoops. Even though we warned him, do not step on the train. The train will be there. Just pause until she walks by. But there are pictures of me like flailing and going backwards.
Did you fall?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Thank God I have a really strong core, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. There's always something that goes wrong. My sister she's getting married and I'm like, okay, so this is just expect that something's going to go wrong, but we're just going to roll with it. You just do. And I think that, if you can not let the bride find out about what might have gone wrong behind the scenes.
My wedding also, I lost the diamond out of my engagement ring between the ceremony and the reception. So, but it actually ended up being a really great mistake or mess up because when they sent the heaters for the food to our venue, they sent the wrong size, so they couldn't heat the food up easily. And so they were putting like one tray of food at a time into this oven, and it was taking a really long time because I had over 300 people at my wedding. So my mom was so grateful that we were late to the reception because I lost the ring, the diamond, and we couldn't find it. And I was crawling around the hotel on my hands and knees in my wedding dress, sobbing,
Oh my gosh.
looking for my diamond, but I found it. So
You did.
I did.
In the hotel room?
Yeah, but we were like out in the hallway, and then my husband realized he didn't bring a hotel room key. So it was like a delay getting into the room. And so he had to go up to the thing, and he's like, well, I don't have my ID on him, but he has his military uniform because he got married in his uniform. He's like, there's my name. I'm getting married. Like, I didn't bring my wallet with me. And so they gave him a key. And then once we got in, but it was like a 2-floor hotel room, and we were like out on the balcony over the water. Like I was like, there was a lot of things going through my brain at that point, but I was like literally in the hallway in the hotel crawling, and my bridesmaids and groomsmen, we were all on our hands and knees crawling.
Oh my gosh. And you found it. That's amazing.
We found it. And so then I found my brother-in-law. I was like, you're not drinking tonight, right? And he's like, no. And it was like in an envelope in a Ziploc. And I'm like, this is for you. I'll get it tomorrow.
I'm going to go have fun. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a story.
But like, I've been married now for almost 24 years. So sometimes things go wrong, but it happens the way it's supposed to. And it doesn't mean that it's like an omen, right? Like if you would have thought like my wedding, it was an omen that like it was going to be a bad marriage. No, nope. We just kind of went with the flow of it, right?
Yeah. When you find your person, I think you just find your person. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, before we get off, I got to ask you our question that I ask all of my clients, or not all my clients, you're not my client, all my people on on this podcast. So, what is one moment in your life that you tuned in and felt like your life was guiding?
I kind of always feel that there's something bigger. There's a kind of a gravitational pull that's leading me to something. So many good moments. I think connecting with Shanna Tatum, who's the co-founder of Elevate, when our forces came together and we were like, we both have this kind of same vision and this is how we really want to execute it. And this is how we want to bring it to our community. I think we were very much in line with that. So I think that's more of a recent one, but it's so powerful. Elevate is so meaningful. And what it can do and how it can transform lives, to just, and a community that lifts each other up. So, so good.
I love that. And I'm excited to meet her. And when do you guys meet next? What's the date that you guys meet?
Is Thursday, I believe that's July 23rd, Thursday, July 23rd here.
Okay.
And we have a little sign up sheet on LinkedIn that you can just connect with.
I will be out of town in Ohio at that time, so I'm gonna have to look for your next quarter one, but I hope those that are listening definitely goes and heads over and joins this event because, 1, you wanna go into the space, but 2, what incredible women, and it sounds like you're doing really beautiful things, and I'm excited for the next quarter one so that I can join and get into this. I mean, because I love the leadership. I teach it with my Reiki master, the embodied leader. That's a part of when they do the Reiki master training with me is the embodied leader.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, we all have it within us. We all have that leadership, and somebody is watching you, somebody's mentoring after you, somebody's looking up to you if you're the best at something or if you're really good at something. There is somebody watching you, trying to learn from you. And I think that we all have to be aware of that we carry that power, and we have to be very conscientious with it and lead by example. And I just want to go back to what you said earlier. You're going home to Ohio. Make sure you have a spaghetti night or throw a spaghetti night Sunday supper.
Well, we're having Isadora's graduation party up in Ohio for my family. So there will be a gathering, just probably not spaghetti.
Okay. Well, it'll feel like that. It'll feel like those family gatherings. There's nothing like it. There's always, always fun.
Absolutely. Well, Jodie, thank you again so much for joining me today, for all that you do in our community, and just, I mean, I adore you. I adore your work. I love that we have, developed a friendship and a connection. And I look forward to our next garden party in September.
I can't wait. Yes. I'm always here to support you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Rocky.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in and for doing this work, not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. If this episode stirred something in you, trust that. Share it, leave a review, send it to someone whose soul needs it. Your voice and your ripple matter. And if you're ready to go deeper, to explore your past lives, heal your patterns, reconnect to your soul, or work with me one-on-one, head over to tuneintowellness.com or connect with me on Instagram. Until next time, trust what you feel, honor what you know, and remember, your soul already has the answers. Be bold, be light, be you. I'll see you next time on Soul Knowledge.